And Scott Dooley out to investigate this stayer of Aussie TV.
It's been an Australian institution, and after 36 weddings, 23 deaths and 11 births, Neighbours is turning 25.
Moving shot 2, take 2, camera A.
While they prepare for their big day, I was lucky enough to have a look behind the scenes of Ramsay Street. Generations of Australians have grown up with these familiar faces. Jason, Kylie and Guy Pearce all had their starts on the show, but none are more popular than Ryan Maloney's Toadfish. Now, you have been on Neighbours for what, 16, 15 years?
16 years
16
now,
years. That's as long as Alan Fletcher.
Yeah, but he's older than me, so he'll die before me, so I'm going to beat him.
There you go.
One day.
Joke's on you, Fletch.
Don't have a spare pair of pants in that bag there.
The Neighbours crew is made up of 120 people, and they shoot on set 46 weeks a year, producing over 100 hours of TV. Now, it's important to point out that everything is just right here. All the green rooms, everything. Here it is, there's Lassiter's. So what they do is they just shoot in different angles here. You got Harold's store. I hope there's a bad suburban lawyer around. There's one. Have a look at this. Jared Rebecki. Life on Ramsay Street can be experienced firsthand, every day. British backpackers head to Pinote Court in Melbourne to find out what it's like to be a neighbour. Why is it such a popular show in the UK, do you think?
It probably appeals to all the family. Like, my mum watches it as well, and my dad doesn't really like it, but my brother watches it. My mum's got it on Sky Plus.
I have no idea what this guy said for the majority of this interview, which is... I can't understand a word he's saying. Watched by 120 million people daily in over 65 countries, Neighbours is Australia's most successful TV export. But what makes this soapie so successful?
It's escapism. That's kind of what it is. You know, the problem's kind of easily solved and over a cup of tea.
Even though we say it's about a community of people within a street and it's supposedly about real life, and people go, oh, it's not really, it's a bit far-fetched. It's not. None of the stories on Neighbours are far-fetched. What it is it's condensed.
We all try our guts out to create the best product that we possibly can, and we do that week in, week out.
And all the hard work's paid off, with 19 Logies from nearly 6,000 episodes. Not bad at all.
And who better to reminisce with than my favourite ever Neighbours character, Dr. Carl Kennedy himself, Alan Fletcher.
Now, you've been Dr. Carl for 16 years.
Yes.
So what's he gotten up to over that time?
Ooh, let me see. Married 3 times to the same woman. He's had a bundle of children, of course, 3 with Susan. He's had 2 stepdaughters.
So everything's in working order?
Everything's in... Oh, definitely, goodness me.
You're exhausted.
I am. He's got 2 kids by his ex-wife's ex-husband who died of angioblastic T-cell lymphoma.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Terrible disease. And, of course, he's got one by Izzy, which was conceived when he thought Izzy was Susan because he was under the influence of a sleeping drug.
Yeah, once again, we've all been there. That's, the story of my life.
When I used to watch when I was younger, your character was always so lovely, and all of a sudden, I imagine you got this script where it all started to go horribly wrong and you had the affair. Was it kind of like, yeah, I finally get to mix it up a bit, you know?
It's extraordinary because we'd been puddling along, being our family and all that sort of stuff, and they came to us and they said, we're going to give you an affair with Nicola Charles. And I said, I thought about it for a couple of seconds. I said, oh, all right. And it was about 96, I think, that all changed. It was a cliffhanger. Suddenly she's there, she's sobbing on my shoulder, and then she looks up at me and kisses me, and I go, OK, welcome to the new Dr. Carl.
It's so nice to see all that old footage of Neighbours. It just makes me so nostalgic for, you know, Charlene and Scott and that panel van, you know, pashing in the back of the panel van. You know, what would you like to see come back?
My hair.
We just saw footage of you just then from 20 years ago. You look the same.
Oh, bless. No, I'm not quite the same. We have photos around the building, of course, all the historic car shots.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had the long black hair and...
What are you talking... Don't complain about losing your hair. You're insulting me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel like I've deteriorated since this show started.
Now, we've got the election tomorrow. The whole nation's talking about it. Who is the local member for Erinsborough?
Oh, this is so sad. Herbie Higginson.
Herbie Higginson?
Yeah, he was having an affair with the greengrocer's wife, and when the greengrocer came home, he jumped out the window, got concussion and then amnesia, forgot which party he belonged to, and run down in a traffic accident. And he's been in a coma in Erinsborough Hospital for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, he'll get our vote for the sympathy.
It's funny when you look back at it, like I was thinking Anne and Billy were my favourite characters, and he was saying Charlene. Yeah. Is there anyone you'd really like to see come back?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who was my favourite was Joe Mangle.
Mrs. Mayor.
Yeah, Mark Little. He was fabulous. He was so funny and lively. He did come back for a return appearance, and fingers crossed, you never know.
Well, there's no end to the twists and turns on the show. We actually have a sneak peek. This is a controversial storyline about to happen to Dr. Karl. Take a look at this.
Susan, you just have to trust me.
How the hell am I supposed to trust you?
What have I done to deserve this?
Zeke, where's the list?
You made a list.
Took a while, but here it is. Cheated on me with Sarah. Cheated on me with Izzy. Had a baby with Izzy.
The baby wasn't my fault. Izzy drugged me.
Don't be ridiculous, Carl. You're a cheater. Always have been, always will be.
Hi, Susan. It's been such a long time.
Scott.
Who is this?
I'm afraid the diagnosis isn't good, Dr. Karl. Susan and I, we were lovers.
What? Why?
Why? Because I am sick of your dramatics. Every year you get us into some predicament that ends up in cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger.
What do you think this is?
It's not quite a cliffhanger. It's about to be. Zeke, I'm your father.
Get me out of this crazy street, Dad.
I'm going to, Carl. Sorry, my heart's with Scott, always has been.
Sorry, dude, but you do get the cliffhanger, so there's a silver lining. Let's go. You better watch your bad self, Susie Kennedy.
How do you feel about that as a storyline?
Honestly, we are looking at a gold leggy winner there.
Yeah,
He's pretty good, wasn't
massive
he?
potential. I had no idea it was an actor. A big thank you to Fremantle and the Neighbours cast and everyone for letting Scott drop into Ramsay Street. That was a lot of fun.
Neighbours is on weekdays at 6:30, right before us. Thanks for joining us, Alan Fletcher.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and we'll be back with a taxi driver whip around.